Welcome to My CE Courses Daily Podcast. This is the daily podcast because this is where we shorten it up a little bit. We find 5 or 6 insurance subject lines and we discuss it for a few minutes. But we always want to make sure you want to come back to our actual website where you can get the full version of some of our courses that we teach and along with a lot of instructors. And you can find us at mycecourse.com. Well, today we're here at MindMeld Studios, and we're talking about insurance and the risks. And the 5 ones that we've chosen today, the first one is the Victory Inland Marine. Now, this is something I know a little about. I started my career in the construction world, and I worked with the Builders and Tradesmen Victory program back then. This is a great program. I just had the guys in my office, in here in the studio, filming a couple new CE courses discussing not only their construction side, but their new marine contractor program. You guys got to go check that out at BTISinc.com. Now, the second one we're going to talk about is assisted living, professional, and general liability. Now, I never thought about assisted living for me as a career to sell that type of coverages, but recently I was approached by a very, very good friend of mine. And he was telling me about how he is investing and, asked if I wanted to participate in that investment of assisted living facilities. And he's telling me it's a huge boom for the future. I never even considered it, but now I do. Well, now I'm seeing more and more about assisted living, and not in just today's media news, but in recent months, it's every day I'm reading something new about the increasing number of people needing assisted living. So this is a great area, and I can imagine that type of coverage is very well needed, especially with a lot of the recent news on, elderly care and injuries to some of the people staying there. So this coverage is definitely going to be needed to protect them. Now, the next one is the basketball contest coverage. Now, I love this type of coverage. I remember in my early career, I would sell it for a lot of golf courses that I was working with. But I always mentioned to them, because they always were worried about the cost. And the cost is very little compared to the ultimate loss that you could incur. And I always say, when it comes to basketball, there's so many different things. It's just not the three-pointer, but you have how many shots it could be in 30 seconds or different things. And a lot of these places are giving away like, $40,000 and $50,000 trucks and cars. I can only imagine that event, how much profit it might be bringing in. It may not even be enough to cover that vehicle. So definitely contest coverage for any kind of sporting event is needed. Today, subject line was all about basketball. Then we've got residential subcontractors. Now, this is one I chose on my list today because I recently had a plumber come out. He worked on my pipes. Now I'm leasing this place that I'm in currently, and those pipes broke in the process, and it was all caused, or at least it's been found that it was caused by the plumber, not because of any aging pipes. So my homeowner is not responsible for this type of action. My subcontractor was. Well, thank God he had insurance, because it was been a nightmare trying to work this thing out. But once we found out he did have coverage, the insurance took over, and then the rest of the process was there. So make sure that you're getting that residential subcontractor coverage and making sure that they have the proper coverage. But this is really good coverage, especially with a lot of these older communities being revamped. This is a great coverage to be selling and also making sure they have. Now, football insurance. This is one, obviously, because of, we just came out of the Super Bowl, right? The season is over. Congratulations to the Patriots for winning the Super Bowl. I'm not a Patriot fan. I'm a Niner fan. I know they have a lot of work to do, but congratulations to the Super Bowl winners. Now, with that being said, the NFL, this is the actual announcement, the NFL will no longer have general liability insurance that's going to cover for head trauma. This means the NFL's insurance that they have underneath them for the players is no longer going to cover for head trauma. Insurance companies are just scattering. They're just freaking out, and they're saying no more coverage is going to be available. Now, when I go to the youth sports website, which is USA Football, I go there and I go to their website, and they are still, according to their website, still offering youth football league insurance. It's through one of their programs that they offer as part of their package. And it's still there. Now, I don't know if they're covering for head trauma or not covering for head trauma. This is something, we'll need to look into, but at least they are still offering any coverage. I have not found any announcements by the USA Football or any other youth sports league. But the NFL's, for now at least, their general liability will no longer cover for head trauma losses. Like most insurance, there's always a cycle to things. They'll leave and they'll come back. But to have nobody, there's no carrier, no reinsurance carrier right now at this present time willing to cover, that's a really major deal. There's always at least one or two that are willing to cover something on a higher premium basis. But to have no coverage available at all right now, it's going to be a major issue. And I'm wondering how the players are going to take this. And are they going to continue? Or is there going to be like a protest in some sort of manner demanding this type of coverage be available, or they just won't play? We will have to play this one out. But, the insurance for the football league is definitely something we should all watch, not only just at the professional level, but we should also be very concerned, is it going to affect the youth sports leagues? This is Mike Aberley signing off today as today's My CE Course podcast. Please come on back to our website at mycecourse.com for all the latest trainings, and check out our brand new course that we're going to be utilizing and talking about is AB 1825, Sexual Harassment in California. Thanks a lot.